living in India, growing up in India, cricket is our first love.
Cricket is very close to home and heart, but I've seen a lot of teenagers and young people, even adults, being going crazy for football.
Football is just a 90-minute game, and
Around fantasy sports, a lot of negativity around it in terms of betting, people losing money, and what do you have to say about that?
I got All India rank of 20. For my rank, I got a DVD player, which in the year 2000 was a huge thing.
Obviously.
I did not pay attention to my captain pick being injured. So-and-so player is are injured and might not be available for the next game. And I put him as a captain, which meant I scored 0 points. 10 players playing, I only got 10 points. So that is a huge loss for me. And a player like Virat Kohli has been scoring 600 runs consistently. Or someone like Dhoni scores a lot of sixes. So sixes gives me an additional points. Your rank can go suddenly from like top 5,000 to 10,000 to suddenly it can go in the lakhs, 20 lakh, 30 lakh.
Hello and welcome to JCL podcast Viddas Bowls Season 2. From cricket to football and kabaddi to Formula 1, fantasy sports have taken India by storm. What makes a winning team? How do you stay ahead of the game? Let's find out today with our guest, Paritosh Mishra. Paritosh, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure. And the first thing we'd like to know is, what do you do at JioMart?
So I work as a workforce analyst with the JXT team. My day-to-day involves forecasting for staffing needs, how much is required in each department, customer service, service, and the marketplace risk investment team. And I also collaborate with pretty much all of my stakeholders like HR, tech, operations, and manage day-to-day service levels for the business.
So when you are not deep into work, what do you like to do? What are your passions and interests?
So I am a very avid sports guy. I kind of, play cricket. I play football. I like watching Formula 1. And apart from that, I also indulge myself in playing fantasy games, like fantasy cricket during the IPL season or fantasy football during the, English Premier League season. Also, Formula 1 is also bits and pieces here and there. I do play it.
Right. So I think your passion for sports is clearly visible with your jersey.
Yes.
And it clearly tells us Manchester United, right? I think it's very obvious that you are a sports fanatic, sports enthusiast. And today we'll not really talk about your passion for the game or the sport itself, rather a very interesting subject, which is fantasy sports. Because that's something which is trending, so to say. So what pulled you into fantasy sports?
So, back when I was like 10 years old, in the year 2000, there was a show called Super Selector, which came on ESPN. So since I was already into sports at such a young age, I like to see, how best I can utilize my sporting knowledge into creating a team which will earn a certain set of points.
Got it.
Towards the show. That was a very brand new concept for India at that time. I think it's still brand new, so to say. Over the last 10 years only it has really taken off. But at that time it was like very, very new. So I thought, okay, maybe I'll give it a shot. And then I went through it. And what enticed me was the strategy part, the skill required to select certain sports people. Basis their form, basis their, performances on the field.
Right.
And sometimes even strategies which might include, weather might include to be a part of the equation, as in cricket, for example, if it's a rain shortened game, you only have 5 overs to 10 overs per team. So you need to know who to pick or which player to pick, who will make the maximum impact and get you those fantasy points that will help you, in your quest to win the whole thing.
Great. And for somebody like me who's not into fantasy sports and knows nothing at all about it, how would you, simplify it for somebody like me and a lot of other people in the audience? Also, there's a lot of buzz in the market around fantasy sports, a lot of negativity around it in terms of betting, people losing money, and what do you have to say about that?
So first of all, I encourage everyone not to use real money while playing fantasy sports. I have never used real money. Fantasy sports for me is simply a game of skill and strategy and your knowledge of the sport, because that is where, we have all, anyone who's playing fantasy sports also, that is where they have all, come up from their basic love of the sport, love of the game, whatever they choose. So, I am completely not in favor of any use of, real money while playing.
Right.
There is, real money is only a part of it. The major game or the major fantasy game involves strategy at its best.
Right.
So you can play the game without money and still, whoever the app which is sponsoring that particular game, they have prizes for, playing without money as well. So you technically don't have to involve any real money and get into any of the financial debt traps that it is right now. Which is where I said in the last, especially due to IPL in the last 5 to 6 years, the financial part has become a major buzzword. And
Correct.
people think that it's an easy way out. Okay, I have so much knowledge of the sport, I can clearly win this game.
Correct.
And then they,
It involves a lot of risk.
yes, and so for me, definitely I'm not in favor of it, and definitely I do not encourage anyone to play fantasy for the financial aspect of it.
Right.
Just play it for the love of the game.
Like any other game.
Like any other game, exactly.
And how would you explain fantasy sport to somebody like me who's maybe, not heard about it before, not really, I don't know how it's played.
So it's basically, I'll take cricket as an example. A real game of cricket involves 7 players.
Correct.
A fantasy game also involves 11 players. Similar to cricket, you can probably choose 1 wicket keeper, 3 batsmen, 2 or 3 all-rounders, and 3
So you get to select your own team.
You get to select your own team for every match. Or you get to select for the whole tournament.
Okay.
At a single go, you can select 11 players out. And then basis their performances on the field that evening or that day, you get certain points. Like for example, if a batsman scores a 6, you get an additional 10 points. You get a point for every run scored. You get 20 points for every wicket taken.
Right.
As a wicket keeper, you get 15 points for every catch caught. So similarly, so you need to basically pick and choose as to which batsman will score big on that day, or who is in a good form leading up to the game.
Okay.
And which bowler is also in a good form, and which bowler in the power play, the first 6 overs of I feel game, which bowler can take the most wickets, and basis that you basically build up your.
So you become the strategist in the entire game, and you decide who's going to bowl when and who's going to play.
So it all depends. It's a big strategy game, I would say, because you need to do all these calculations. You need to make a team in such a way that it earns you the maximum points for that particular day, and then similarly from then on, every single day, what would be your team going forward. A tournament is of 70 games. 70 games, you need to build up 70 different teams.
Right.
And this is your total cumulative points that leads you to the final outcome, which is, prize 1, 2, 3, whatever the sponsors give the prizes. So basis that, we basically build our own teams.
So you made it very simple for me to understand. Now I think I can also go and play that.
Definitely.
But you mentioned at the beginning that you are into cricket and football. So which of the two sports have your heart?
So living in India, growing up in India, cricket is our first love. Because we play cricket right from our childhood days, like 5-6 years from the gully cricket to where whatever we play corporate cricket right now. So definitely cricket is my first love, and football, I took up football from when I was like age 8, and I saw a game on the television where Manchester United scored a last minute goal, and they won the Champions League that year. And that's what got me hooked to football as well. The emotions of the fans, the emotions of the players that they bring out on the pitch. Even if a game over a 90-minute period only scores 2 or 3 goals max, both team come in, but the pure emotion in football got me hooked to it. And while I love both games equally, I think cricket wins it by a whisker, because I also play it on the field and off the field a lot.
So I can totally relate to you, Paritosh. Reason being that yes, cricket is very close to home and heart. That's why it definitely takes an edge. But as far as football is concerned, while it's not a major sport being played in India per se, or has a lot of buzz around it, but I've seen a lot of teenagers and young people, even adults, being going crazy for football. My own brother and a lot of my friends, they are like football fanatics to another level. And I can totally, understand when you say that there's a 90-minute game, but the kind of emotion that those 90 minutes hold as a viewer, I can totally relate to it.
Definitely, because in cricket, what happens now with IPL is down to a 4-hour game.
Right.
But previously, what used to be when we were growing up, it was either an 8-hour one-day match or a 5-day test match. And over such a large period of time, you cannot hold your emotions.
True.
Football is just a 90-minute game, and you have a high rush of adrenaline.
Yes,
So
absolutely.
that's where football
Channelize your energy in those 90 minutes.
exactly, and that gives a lot of rush for a lot of people.
And how does it work when it comes to fantasy sport?
So fantasy specifically in football that I play year long. So any football season starts from August and ends in May with the culmination of a Champions League final. So what happens during the whole course of the season? You again, similar to fantasy cricket, in football also you pick up your set of 11 players,
Right.
3 or 4 defenders, 4 or 5 midfielders, and 2 or 3 striking, and 1 goalkeeper. And the performances that they do on the field. For example, if a goalkeeper saves like 3 or 4 shots, then they get a certain amount of points. If a striker scores a goal, they get a certain amount of points.
Okay.
And if a defender stops the other team from scoring the goal and keeps a clean sheet, is what we say in football,
Okay.
they get a certain amount of point. And it's again the culmination of all of these points that you earn every week. It's a 38 season, the whole season has 38 game weeks,
Games.
and every week is one game.
One game.
So there are 20 teams in Premier League, which is
Okay.
England's
Huh.
top league in football. So 20 teams play each other every week for 38 weeks. So one team basically plays the 19 other teams 2 times during the season. So over a period of 38 weeks, how the players perform, which player is scoring, which player is on form, which player got an injury and had to come off. So you need to, bake in all of those aspects in, and sometimes weather plays a part. If it is snowing, the games might get cancelled in England. That is. If it is heavily raining, then you might not even get a goal
Right.
in the game. It might be just a,
Draw.
0-all draw. In a 0-all draw, if your team has more of defenders in that game, then you get points because defenders clean sheet gives you a lot of points.
Okay.
So those permutation combinations, you have to look at stats. You have to look at who's creating the most chances, who's scoring the most chances. So someone might create about 10 chances to score a goal, but the forward who's playing might not score a single goal. Someone might create just 2 chances and the forward takes both the chances, scores 2 goals.
Okay.
So all of these factors come in. It's purely a strategy based game, and it's a data driven game, so to say. Cricket, be it fantasy cricket or fantasy football, it's completely data driven games, and data and analysis is what I do best
On a
because
regular basis.
on a day-to-day basis, because that's my job. That's my job as well, and that's what has fascinated me ever since I've taken up fantasy sports or
Okay.
sports in general.
Right.
Data is what I rely on,
Enjoy.
and doing all the analysis, figuring out trends, patterns, what might happen, forecasting what is going to happen in the future of the game, who might do, or again playing the game itself is basis the skill of the players, but
Right.
we can certainly over a period of time, analyzing how certain players perform at different points of time, we can certainly pick out a trend.
Change your strategy.
Yes, we can pick out a trend and strategy. That's why most of the top teams in the world all have their own data analysis teams,
Okay.
which does all this number crunching and feeds it to the players to improve their gaming.
Wow.
So a lot goes through even real life sport as well as fantasy. So basically you just have to be a good fantasy player, and you can excel. You can put the same skills on real life and
Correct.
excel in the games as well.
This is interesting information, Paritosh. And if you look at the positive side of it, it's eventually helping us develop some of our data analysis skills and strategic thinking, so to say.
What basically we pay in lakhs to do through an MBA, can definitely be achieved through just
Fun and
fun
learning
and learning.
through fantasy sports.
Exactly, and which is what is the concept of our JCL podcast.
Correct. Thank you for bringing that in.
It involves fun and learning as well.
I'm sure because this is a game, there has to be wins and losses. So, do you remember your first fantasy league win?
Yes. So where I actually got the high of going into fantasy was with the same show, which was called Super Selector. So what happened? They had a season of a one-day matches that was happening between India and Australia during that time. It was a tri-series, India, Australia, and Sri Lanka. So that's where the show started, and we had to build a team through the complete. I think it was 12 matches or something. We had to build a team which sustains all through the 12 matches, and then the top 50 winners would get something. Depending on where they rank, they would get certain prizes. The first prize, I believe, was a trip to the next year's tri-series tournament in Australia.
Oh, wow.
So that's when I got to know, and I entered the tournament. In the first year itself, I got the All India rank of 20. And for my rank, I got DVD player, which in the year 2000 was a huge thing.
Obviously, now they don't exist anymore, but you had to have a DVD player in that year. So big thing.
First thing, getting such a high rank itself, when lakhs of people are playing, that was the first ever time it was introduced in India, and still they had close to a lakh of people playing. Now when fantasy sports comes, we have people in crores playing the game.
It takes me back to my IIT days.
Yes.
And the ranks 20 out of 1 lakh. I think it's amazing.
Exactly. So that was my first win, and that got me hooked to the whole fantasy thing. And regarding losses, I mean, since I've been playing it for far too long, I cannot. Every year, basically, it's not guaranteed that you would definitely win a prize or not. But how it works in a season-based fantasy is that you get prizes for winning every match week, and you get prizes for winning every month.
Okay.
Cumulative into winning for the whole season. So typically, what we try, just like you bought in the IIT rank concept, typically what we try to be in the top 0.1 percentile of the whole population.
It's a game of percentiles.
It's a game of percentile. So if I'm ranking in the top 1 percentile, I'll be happy. If I'm ranking the 0.1 percentile, I'll be very happy. Right. So it's like that. So what happened one year, when I was choosing my captain for a couple of game weeks, what happened was that I did not pay attention to my captain pick being injured. He had just become injured the previous evening, and I did not pay attention to the Twitter news that was coming in that so-and-so players are injured and might not be available for the next game. And I put him as a captain, which meant I scored 0 points. A captain usually scores double for the entire thing, which meant I scored 0 points, and the other player picks which I had also did not really make up. So out of a game week average of like 65 points, which was there at that time, I scored around total of only 10 points. Just 10 players playing, I only got 10 points. So that was a huge loss for me, and my rank went from like top 10,000, yeah, 15,000. It was there, and I suddenly shot, because of such a low score, I shot to like rank in the millions.
Okay.
Just due to one game pick, and that completely changed my season because I could not make up.
Correct.
Making up all of that rank and coming and ending the top 10,000 out of 10 million players.
Right.
10 million is 1 crore. Yeah. So 10,000 out of 1 crore, that was not possible at first. So that I consider as my biggest loss in this.
Right.
Like I said, I never play with any cash component, so it's just a game of strategy. So wins and loss are basically notional.
Yeah.
It's notional and basis the percentile basis, because that's how in India, that's how we have been built. What's your rank?
Correct.
That matters more
like
than
I said,
what
it's all about percentiles and ranks.
and that. So it's more like people don't care if you won actually something, if you won a prize or not. They just want to see, okay, what's your rank? Okay, basis that they will judge you as to, okay, you're good, you're very good.
Right.
Where is it? And typically playing fantasy is also for the banter of it. So we have like groups of friends who play these mini leagues within the overall league. and we have our own WhatsApp chats, and we try to.
So you have your own fantasy sports communities.
Community, yes, community you can call it. And say, for example, in any one game week, my team player does very well. As in, like Manchester United player, he does very well. He scores a lots of points.
So you become the king of that WhatsApp group. I know what you're talking about.
Exactly. And then I can go and banter on my other friends as to, okay, your team did not do so well, I did so well. I can just.
I have very well read a lot of these WhatsApp chats with my friends, and I see the kind of conversations that go there. So it's pure fun. I feel.
Pure fun, yes, definitely it's pure fun.
So whenever there's a tournament, how do you prepare for it?
So typically, like I said, I kind of take into effects a lot of the statistics of the previous seasons. Like say, August is coming soon, so I have to be ready for the upcoming tournament. I definitely take into account as to what happened the previous years and which player has been performing consistently over the period of a season. Week over week, I divide stats. How many shots were taken. Example, I'll take football as an example. How many shots were taken? How many goals are scored by the player? What is the shot to goal conversion ratio? For a midfielder, for example, how many big chances he created for the forward to score a goal? How many were actually converted by the forwards? And similar to that, it's basically a game of statistics and figuring out a trend pattern. Take IPL for example. A player like Virat Kohli has been scoring 600 runs consistently over the last 3 or 4 editions. Then definitely for the next tournament, I will have to consider him as one of my picks, because I know for a fact that over a 14 game period, he's going to score 600 runs, which is at least 40 runs per game week. And 40 runs is going to give me close to 50 to 55 points, because he also scores a lot of boundaries. Or someone like Dhoni scores a lot of sixes. So sixes gives me an additional points. So I need to figure out as to who's scoring and how they are scoring.
Right.
Some player who scores only like 30 runs but scores everything in singles. It's only going to give me 30 points because it's all single with no bonus of 4 or 6.
Okay.
Similarly, for bowlers, if someone is scoring, taking 2 wickets in a match consistently, then that bowler is going to give me at least 50 to 60 points every match. So that's how I basically prepare. Okay, what would be my best combination? What would be a combination for that given day? If 2 teams are playing, what would be my combination? What 11 can I build to get the maximum amount of points for that day? Choosing that combination is key for the long goal, for a full tournament of entire season. That combination is a very key factor, because that can decide whether you're scoring 200 points in a match or whether you're scoring 500 points in a match. Because almost a crore of players play the game on a day-to-day basis. 300 points difference will be your rank can go suddenly from like top 5,000 to 10,000 to suddenly it can go in the lakhs, 20 lakh, 30 lakh also we can suddenly drop. And making up is very difficult because you have so many players playing with everyone is following a similar kind of strategy. So my preparation model is basically check all the past performances, check the current form, check where the game is being played, what are the conditions for the game, whether it's a batting friendly wicket, a bowling friendly wicket, whether that match has a ability to get over in 10 overs, 12 overs, just like a local SRS team which usually goes and hits like 300 runs, 280 runs, 300 runs match over match, and then tries to finish off the opponents in 10 to 12 overs. A very strong team like that will certainly get you more points from the players. So taking all of these factors into account is how I build up for the complete season of fantasy.
So this sounds like a project in itself.
Yes, definitely. This is a mini project and a lot of analysis has to be done. Yes. A lot of analysis. Sometimes I spend even, up to an hour and a half just strategizing before a game week. And, I don't finalize my team because I've learned it the hard way. I don't finalize my team 10-15 minutes before the deadline.
Till the last.
And because anything might change. Suddenly a player just doing a warm-up can get injured on the field even before the match is starting. And then I would have to, take out that player. So it's basically a project in itself. and yeah, I mean, day-to-day life, maybe project management, we do a lot of project management. So this is like a mini project and I consider it as such. And uh, week over week, definitely I invest a couple of hours every week into getting my team perfected.
Right. And before we now move on to our last segment, which is going to be a very fun game segment, one last thing we want to ask you is what gives you the ultimate high when it comes to fantasy sports?
The high is basically knowledge of the game. I like to test myself. I like to think that I know a lot of things in sport, whichever sport it is, whichever fantasy I'm playing, whether it be cricket or football. And I like to see those ideas that I have being implemented in real life, and those ideas being converted into points, which the players that I'm choosing get it to. So that is what gives me the complete high, more than anything.
When you're able to get some points in return.
Yes,
For your
I'm able to get a lot of points in return for my ideas. If I'm thinking, okay, this happening, certain so and so player is going to give me X amount of points, basis analysis again.
Right.
So that gives me a lot of high, as in when the player actually goes and scores. Because form and so whatever we do, it's just a trend analysis and statistics. But whatever that actually happens on the field, that we don't have any control of. But we can with certain statistics we can definitely tell ki okay, this has a X percentage possibility of happening.
Right.
So when that comes true, that's what gives us a lot of high.
What I predicted.
What I predicted happened.
Exactly. Agreed. Alright, so this is interesting new information. Thank you so much for sharing this with us. And now we have a fun game segment for you. And I'm pretty sure you're not gonna regret it. So are you ready? Okay, so let me explain the game to you. This is called Dream 11 Geomart Edition.
Okay.
Without any real money. So imagine that you're picking up a Dream 11 team from Geomart, from couple of office personalities, and I'm going to take the name of that particular role, and you have to tell me from within Geomart who do you think is the perfect fit for that role. All right. Just remember, this is going live and being recorded, so pick the team carefully. All right. So, who you think should play the role of the team captain, the decision maker?
Team captain definitely would be our operations head, Mr. Nitin Sharma.
Yes.
I
Great.
think you have already.
I think that he's the perfect fit.
Yeah. Even on the game, even while we play on the field, he takes pretty much all of the key decisions. He's always cool, calm, composed. Thinks 3 steps forward as to what might happen in the field. So definitely, I'd choose him for the gap.
So Nitin being the captain, who can be the finisher?
Finisher, probably I'll choose my teammate Khalid.
Okay.
He comes up with a lot of clutch information and call outs in real life, in day-to-day work. He puts up a lot of dashboards, gets the right data to our stakeholders in time. So definitely Khalid, please.
And every team, needs a cheerleader. So who's going to be our cheerleader?
Cheerleaders, especially for JXT, we have had a lot of support from our HR partners, Durga and Aditya Maradi.
Yay.
And of course, Nara, yourself, because you guys help keep the team engagement going across Geomart, all the businesses. And yeah, definitely you guys are the cheerleaders for
I think we should just hold a few pom-poms and start cheering. All right. So who will be the silent killer?
Silent killer, I mean, someone who just comes in, does the work.
Correct.
And just goes off. Definitely it would be one of my managers, Arun. He just comes in, does his regular day-to-day work, showcases some amazing skills and insights, and goes away with his day-to-day job.
Okay, and who will be the unpredictable one?
Unpredictable, I'll probably have to give it to Anvish because he is one of our program managers. He usually goes about, on a day-to-day basis, checking multiple SOPs for the business and, what can be simplified and all. And then suddenly comes up with some kicker program ideas, which helps, run the business more efficiently.
Right. I think I know who's going to be the next one, but still I'll ask. Who you think is going to be the analyst?
Analyst, yeah, that definitely be me.
I thought as much.
I do a lot of analysis on my
Right.
day-to-day real life as well on my weekends for fantasy.
Hmm.
So analyst is definitely me.
And who will be the coach?
Coach would definitely be my senior manager, Vinay. He gives a lot of insights. He gives a lot of perspectives into how to do our job perfectly, and he keeps things balanced in the team.
Okay. And last one is very important role rather, substitute.
So I definitely have to give it to one of my former colleagues, Nakul.
Okay.
Even in real day-to-day work as well, he likes to keep things fresh. He's always wanting to pitch in even when it is not something to do with his line of business. He likes to keep his perspective and help out from outside as well.
Great.
So yeah.
So I think now we are at a place where we have completely defined the role for each and every team member of yours, and you have your in-house fantasy sports team. So when are you taking on one?
There are definitely a lot of other stakeholders as well.
Right.
It's probably I could not mention so far, but yeah, in short,
These are the major
in
roles.
shorts, yeah, these are the major roles, and a lot of leaders also perform to the best in helping our business grow. So yeah.
So we had a lot of fun playing this game with you and having this conversation. We hope you had equal amount of fun too.
Definitely, oh, yeah.
And any last thoughts before we wrap up?
It was very refreshing. I mean, the whole concept of Bindas Pool, which is basically our season 2. I've been wanting to come on the show since the first season, but probably, better late than nothing.
Yes, better than ever. Absolutely.
So yeah, thank you for the opportunity.
Yes, and it's totally our pleasure to have you on the show and have you talk about such a unique passion.
Yes.
Something very out of the box and different. It was a total fun conversation, and I'm sure our audience are gonna love it.
Definitely, hopefully. I hope. And while we are on this topic, I'd definitely like to conclude by saying that, fantasy may be habit forming, but,
Right.
Do not invest your money into fantasy.
Right.
Just a disclaimer.
Yeah.
So yeah, thank you.
So I think we have the perfect way to end this talk with a disclaimer that do not engage into fantasy sports with real money. Play safe, be safe.
Correct.
Thank you, Paritosh.
Thank you, Ruchita.
Thank you for tuning in and playing fantasy sports with Paritosh Mishra. Don't forget to pick your team, play smart and play safe. Stay tuned for the next episode of JCL podcast Bindas Sport. Okay, keep rolling. I'll just memorize my next set of questions. We don't need to stop.